Hello, Aquarius. Healing Grasshopper here to do your first reading for 2026, your monthly January reading. Mm. I hope you guys enjoyed your holidays or are enjoying your holidays because you're going to be watching. You're going to be watching this for Christmas. Let me get a sip of water. Knight of Wands. This is a really great way to start the year. This is moving with confidence and enthusiasm. Capricorn got the Page of Wands. So that is somewhat of the same energy of confidence and enthusiasm. Um, which is telling me already, I always do the entire zodiac when I do like a monthly or a weekly. I do the zodiac starting with Capricorn, and then move forward. So this is the second reading for the month. Um, and I would say that the first three signs, like, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces, yeah, and Aries to a degree, but the first three mostly kind of sets the tone for the month and kind of lets me know what the collective is feeling. Um, And I'm almost never wrong with that. For the first three or four readings, I get that general sense, and it kind of bleeds into the rest of the zodiac. Um, but I say all that to say that I know it's very cliche to say that you know things feel fresh and new in the first month of a year. Um, But I'm here to say that that's not always true. It didn't feel quite that way for 2025. Yes, I was talking about, things progressing and us entering a new paradigm because of the changes in uh, uh, the astrology and that kind of thing. But it was kind of like, you know, preparation for that change and being in the beginning of the change. And I described it a lot as, you know, when you move into a new house, let's say, especially like a fixer upper new house, and everything is dusty and, you've got a lot of work ahead of you, is what it felt like in the beginning of 2025. And you there is an excitement in that dusty house that you first bought. But there's also a feeling of discouragement, like, gosh, how am I going to do all this? This is so much. It feels daunting, is what I'm saying, right? But this is past that. This feels like everything is fresh and new. This is kind of like taking that same dilapidated house a year later. You have a new kitchen, new bathroom, um, and you just found a great new uh, decorator, let's say, or architect, and there's lots of new things that you're putting into place, and you're like, wow, this is really great. Where year you were covered in dust, and you were like, oh God, how am I going to get that done? You see the contrast? There is the sun is shining on your face, and I'm sorry to talk your ear off with this one card, but I want you guys to understand that there's a lot of difficulties that are behind you, and you have a lot to look forward to. Of course, life isn't always easy street for us, and never will be, all the time. We will have our challenges, but there's a general feeling of shiny and new. I've said it 1,000 times in the past week. Um, Neither of them are reversed. We've got, wow. I heard the 80s song, The Future's So Bright, I Gotta Wear Shades. This is like, okay, first of all, the Six of Pentacles is the charity card, right? Um, but it almost never means monetary charity. Um, and does not really mean that in this situation either. This is the way you're feeling. You're feeling gratitude. I just heard gratitude. This is like things are going so well for you that you want everyone to feel that way too. And this is very much like, when you notice around the holidays, like we're in right now, right around, the week before Thanksgiving, just the air seems to change and people seem nicer and more polite um and it makes you it amplifies that holiday spirit, right? That's what this is. Where it makes you want to spread the cheer and things bother you less. The Two of Swords, though, is all about like indecision, but which can be a negative card depending on the reading. But in this reading, this is very much a joke from Spirit here. The Spirit is definitely ribbing you here. Things are going so well for you that you don't know what to do with yourself, is what they're saying. Um, this, hold on. Yeah. I was gonna say this can also mean that there are choices that you need to go through that are difficult, which I'm obligated to offer when this card comes up because that's what this is about. But Spirit is adamantly saying no, they're confirming that this is that joke of things going so well that you just don't know what to do with yourself. Yeah, that song came into my head for a reason. Future's so bright, I gotta wear shades. Okay, let's see what else we got. Queen of Cups. That's interesting. Queen of Cups. I'm getting like a warmth. Um, Queen of Cups is all about understanding that, like the full understanding, though, that you come first, not reversed. That you come first, your needs come first, and you are not going to compromise your needs for anyone else, right? That's what this covered chalice is about. Her heart is protected. And you are not going to open that chalice unless you know that it's safe. Um, so this is more like a depiction of your current position, yeah, just the way you feel in general and your attitude. That kind of goes along with this exuberance up here. That you're not going to let this excited feeling and your gratitude and generosity get away with you. That you're not going to be so generous that you put yourself in jeopardy, that you compromise your own needs. That's not what's going to happen here. This is gratitude and excitement and generosity within reason and, you know, um, doing it safely and rationally. The tower and temperance. Okay, gotcha. Not reversed. The tower represents change, you know, and this is one of the cards in the deck that the people that I read for will gasp at, like, oh no, not the tower. The tower and, like death, people are like, oh, yeah. So the tower is about um, a stretch of road in your path that you've come across, um, where you don't have control over things. There's something that happens in your life beyond your control. That doesn't mean that there aren't choices that you need to make in this situation, but this talks about an atmosphere of change, right? And sometimes that change can be abrupt, disruptive, upsetting, but yeah, I don't think this is going to be upsetting. This just talks about general change. And this may be surprising, but I don't think it's going to be upsetting. Or it may be upsetting to you initially, but you're going to realize that it's not. When it's over and done with and the dust clears, you're going to be like, oh, it's fine. I'm fine. I'm okay. Um, and oftentimes when this card comes out, I'm reminded of a time in my own life where, I mean, things were happening like dominoes in my life, guys. Like, it was like something was happening every couple of months, like catastrophic things. And I was like, really? Like, why? Um, and it really felt like the sky was falling for me. And when it was all said and done, though, like I said, the dust cleared. I was like, oh, I'm okay. And I realized that was part of the spiritual awakening, of course, where I realized that transitions in life often feel like tribulations, you know? And once you get through the transition, you're like, oh, that wasn't a tribulation at all. I'm fine. Um, and it wasn't half as bad as I thought it was going to be through each of the steps of this transition. So that's what this is really talking about, because temperance right next to tower is talking about the way you approach this tower and how you can choose how this tower is going to turn out for you. If you flip out and act like Chicken Little here, this can be very difficult. But if you take a deep breath through each step of the way and tell yourself, this is temporary, this will pass, I'm going to get through it, Um, yes, there's a boulder in the road, but that's fine. I'm going to have to go around the boulder, do some shoveling or something, rise to the occasion, then it's not going to be so bad. That's what temperance is telling you here. Things have to be done with balance and equal measure and calm. Okay, so you have to remind yourself of that, Aquarius. These things that come about this month are here for the greater good. That's another thing you need to remember. When things look catastrophic, just look around you and say, ah, I see. This is just a set change. This is the universe, just like a play, changing sets. You know, the curtains close and a whole lot of chaos happens behind those curtains, right? Remember, I just had a vision of high school plays. When you're a kid and you have the plays and you're in the audience and there's like this much, a few inches of space between the curtain and the floor, and you see lots of feet running around and things being moved, and you hear things, and it seems chaotic. That's what Spirit showed me, that this is just remind yourself when it's starting to feel chaotic or something sudden happens. Just remind yourself that the universe is just making a set change. It's fine. You're going to get through it just fine. And it's for the greater good. Death. See? Ending. What did I say about how people gasp when they see the death card? Okay. And look at the diagonal here. Um, yeah. So the future's so bright. I I gotta wear shades, right? But at the same time, there's gonna be some stuff going on and some things ending. And there might be in the moment the doubts of, oh my gosh, what's happening? But it's gonna be fine. And some of the things, by the way, because Capricorn had like relationship ending things in their reading where but with a light feeling. It felt like more like freedom than turmoil. Like Capricorn was like, oh, that's great. I'm free. I've been released from this um, BS, right? This is pretty much what you should choose to feel like. Look back at what's ending and think to yourself, really, do I really need that in my life? Wouldn't it be nice for this to change? And thank the universe for helping you change it, even if it feels burdensome. Let's exercise our gratitude. And once we hang on to this gratitude and amplify it, things are going to open up for you, Aquarius. And I know you're one of the signs, Aquarius, where you can see the brighter side of things if you make the effort to, right? So this is one of those moments this week where, you just have to hold on to your gratitude. Hold on to that enthusiasm because there is plenty of reason to be enthusiastic. I wouldn't be surprised if you had Wheel of Fortune coming out. Some pentacles showing up now. Now you have Queen of Cups. You might have some cups showing up. We'll see. The star, right? Right next to the death card. You see? So this is an ending of something in your life for the greater good, for the potential of positive things happening in your life. Out with the old, in with the new. Knight of Swords. And one more, please. Oh, the Lovers. Knight of Swords reversed? No. Okay. So you have this is Aquarius. This is very much you. You are an air sign. Knight of Swords is thinking with enthusiasm and like urgency. I don't have any caveat though. Knight of Swords can carry a caveat like slow down. But that's not what this is talking about, especially in this line here. This is you doing exactly what I suggested that you do, right? Hold on to your gratitude, your enthusiasm, you know, your connection with spirit as well, and your perception of things. You are not going to have, this is confirms to me that you're not going to have a hard time, um, you know, uh, having control of your perception of things and rushing towards the positive and rushing towards your dreams. You're going to see this tower and these endings as an opportunity for something good to happen in your life. You're going to see it very quickly. The Lovers here talks about your relationships, which is probably going to be a theme for you um, this year, if I dare say it. That's not a full confirmation. It's just a feeling that came to mind. We'll see how your yearly reading turns out to be. But um, Capricorn, by the way, got the same um, feeling. They got the Lovers card, and you want to talk about um, people who are uninterested in uh, focusing on their relationships as Capricorn. Capricorn don't got time for BS and people's BS. Capricorn's trying to build fabulous things for themselves, which is very difficult for them because of Saturn. But this is not about Capricorn. This is about you. The reason why I brought up Capricorn is because you guys have similar outlooks here with in regard to your relationships. Um, And remember what I said about the collective and how the first three readings seems to really um, give me a sneak peek as to what the general uh, feeling is for the collective, the Lovers. So, what the Lovers means for you guys is that there is going to be an opportunity for you to um, focus on cultivating meaningful relationships in your life, right? Where you feel more of an Aquarius. And Aquarians like to work for the collective and the greater good, right? And here's that generosity card here, too. And I just got a chill. This month, but probably I keep wanting to say this year. This is going to be a significant year for you, Aquarius. One of Aquarian's frustrations a lot of the time can be that you're not able to do the good that you so desperately crave doing. You have You can see the bigger picture for the collective. You are the selfless people uh, in the zodiac. Well, next to Cancer. But Cancer is like for the family pretty much. You are for the collective. You have these ideals of how the world should be, and you have great ideas to bring it about, but it's like it's always just beyond your reach in making it happen. But in this month, you are going to start to feel that you're going to feel useful. And it may not quite be for the collective yet, but at least with your immediate relationships, that you feel like you're of use to them. You feel like you're helping people. You feel like your heart is nourishing others. And that's what you live for. Bless your hearts, all of you. You know, you make people smile. You bring positive things into people's lives. And you often don't get that appreciation back, right? But I think you are going to be feeling that. You're going to feel useful. You're going to feel that appreciation. You're going to be coming across the right people to affect too. That's another thing where, and this isn't just your problem, Aquarius. Many of the other signs have that problem where they feel like they're the only person in the universe who's seeing things clearly. Um, and the world around them has gone mad, right? And you don't seem to be on the same vibrational level as the people around you. But that's where this is going to change, is what I'm saying. You're going to feel more in tune with others. Wow, this is running much longer than I intended, but you know what? Whoops, I have the deck upside down. That's fine because you guys didn't have your December reading. So it's almost as if I'm making up for that. Look at that. The Ten of Wands. The Capricorn also got. So this is the being overburdened card, where there's so much that you're doing and you want to do that you don't feel like you have enough time in the day or enough energy to get to it all, and you're feeling overwhelmed, which is something Aquarians can do. You guys can burn yourself out because there's so much things that you're inspired to do. But I don't really feel like that is a problem because it sounds like a problem, right? Being overburdened. But like I said, though, this reading before this came out felt very much like the universe is supporting you, and setting the stage for these ideals and these things to be put into place. And, I looked here and then I looked up here at the gratitude and generosity card. Um, Keep this in your mind this month and probably throughout the year, Aquarius, that whenever you feel like, whew, this is a lot, just say thank you. Say it out loud. Thank you to the universe, even if it's raining shit on you. Just say thank you, right? Because things are opening up for you. But as you receive it and you absorb it and you exude it, you put it out into the world, you will start to manifest it. It'll come quicker. It's coming for you. But if you cultivate this stinking thinking, you're going to make it more difficult for yourself. I think you understand what I'm saying. Yeah, really, Aquarius. There's like, this is a positive reading. There's nothing really negative. This is just like the only like negative cards that are showing up here are just like life happens type cards, not like, oh, catastrophe. Mm-mm. What else we got, Spirit? Yeah, looking these are ours. Too many. Ooh, any of these ours? This one? Any of these? No, just the top card. Okay, here, reversed. Okay, Ace of Wands. Okay, how I love to see Ace of Wands after the Ten of Wands. This is you overburdened by yourself. This is Ace of Wands here, the universe lending a hand. What did I say? That you feel in that moment that you feel overburdened, thank the universe because the universe is there working with you whether you know it or not. And once you say thank you, you're going to feel this help. There's going to be a feeling that washes over you like everything's going to be okay. It- And on top of that, you're going to get downloads as to what to do with the current situation that feels sticky to you. Nothing is going to be lingering and burdensome and difficult for you. You'll be fine. These are ours? Either of them? No. Okay. Ours. Oh, oh, look at that. Is Knight of Cups ours? No. Like this and this. Here. Here. Look at the Knight of Swords again. Okay. So look at the star. Okay. So the star is reminding you, not reverse. The star is reminding you of things working for the greater good and your desires, wishes being granted, right? Justice is things, um, oh, and it's connected to the temperance card here too. This is about karmic balance here. And again, not to worry or dwell on things for too long because the universe is taking care of it, right? You've got the tower here. So if there are situations that feel like something happens to you that you feel like is unfair to you, let it roll off your shoulders because it's not for you to be concerned about, really. You've got too much good fortune coming to you for you to worry about this one little thing that's happened to you. Or who knows, it may not feel little, but in the scheme of things, it is little. And when you look back at it, you're going to see that it's little. Okay? Don't catastrophize it because Spirit is taking care of it for you. And when the Justice card comes up, I always mention the angel Raguel. I a very close friend of mine. I work with Raguel a lot. Um, I'm very familiar with his energy. Um, Raguel is the angel of justice. So when things are happening to you that you feel are unfair, just say Raguel, which is what I do. Like when you're little and you're like, "Mom," like, and your sibling is bothering you, and you call out to your mom to do something about it, you're gonna call out Raguel's name like that. Like, Raguel, he'll take care of it. He's gonna take care of it anyway. The universe is going to take care of it. But it will make you feel better. It's reminding yourself that the universe, there's balance in the universe, that everything balances out at some point. Another way, the Christian way of saying that is God sees everything, and don't you forget it. So don't worry about people and what people do and, you wanting to get them back and all that business. That's a trap. That's a karmic trap. Okay, and we're not going to get into that. I think you know what I'm saying. So here we are with the Three of Swords, which, excuse me, talks about some kind of heartbreak, right? And it's connected to justice. This is very much something that upsets you. This can often point to betrayal, but it doesn't need to be betrayal. Um, for some of you, it can be. I have to offer that because Three of Swords almost always points to that sort of thing where you feel like you are betrayed. Um, but it can also branch out to other negative feelings like just feeling upset about the situation where you feel that you came out on you got the short stick of the situation, right? The short end of the situation. Um, but again, it depends on how you approach this. You can catastrophize this, you can blow this out of proportion and, make it a big problem for yourself if you choose to. But if you choose to give it up to God, as they say, call out Raguel's name, let him deal with it, and keep it pushing because you've got a lot to work on, positive things to work on. The moment you do that is going to be the moment that this shrinks in size continuously until it's no longer in your view anymore. You will be able to rid yourself of this. Okay? Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords. We talked about this already. This is spirit uh, amplifying this and showing extra attention to this. This is your enthusiasm. Remember, I said you're not going to have time for this. There's too many great things for you uh, to focus on. This is you doing that. Um, but remember, I also said that there's a caveat with Knight of Swords, like slow down. The only caveat that I would attach to this, because you got the Justice and the Three of um, Swords, is watching your temper. Because the Knight of Swords can very much be that, like, letting negative thoughts run away with you. So, but we already talked about that. We're not going to dwell on our negative thoughts. We are going to dwell on our positive thoughts and move in a positive direction and not a negative one, right? Now, this has come out on top of the Lovers, which talks about your relationships. So, another way of looking at this Three of Swords is um, there are some crappy people in your life, but that don't deserve your attention. But there will be some people in your life that will be coming towards you in this month that you should be turning your attention to. These are people who vibrate on your same level, who appreciate you and your talents and what you have to say. and celebrate you and, all of the good things. So the emphasis this month seems to be kind of brightening up and the cleaning up of your relationships, platonic and otherwise. Doesn't need to, I'm not specifically talking about romance because this Three of Swords that people will automatically think of romance. I'm not talking about just romance. It can include romance, but we're talking about overall relationships. So you're going to have the opportunity to build positive relationships, is really what I'm summing up here. Okay, Aquarius? Again, the future's so bright, you gotta wear shades. Things are going well for you, Aquarius. And don't you forget that, okay? I love you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm still trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So, um, by the way, if you know people who are into tarot and astrology, um, you know, let them know about me. Um, I would appreciate it. I'm trying to grow my channel, and anything you can do to help me do that, I would very much appreciate. Um, so liking and subscribing, really quick gesture means the world to me. Okay, guys, I will speak to you soon. Love, light, and many blessings.